Okay, so we're going to talk today about leadership in energy and environmental design, also known as LEED. So you've heard of LEED certification. It's actually put together by the U.S. Green Building Council, and they put a certification process together to help mostly buildings, but also interiors to be more energy efficient. So we're going to go through this and how it applies to what we do in our facilities design class. We're going to talk today about the types of LEED certifications, the point system, which is actually how you get certified. The process of getting certified often involves what's called an eco-charrette. Also going to talk about the advantages, and then a little bit more about what is practically done in these cases. So for LEED, there's various types of certification that you can get. Most of the time you hear about new construction. Like the rec center is a LEED building, and that's it's LEED certified. It will be LEED certified, and it has to do with the new construction of it, sort of the way that they're doing the construction. But you also can get certified in existing buildings, in the operations and the management of existing buildings. You can have commercial interiors certified, LEED certified. So you can look at, say, the inside of a retail store or something. You can have the core and the shell certified. So not the inside, but the outside, the way that the building is built. You can have schools, or retail itself can be certified, or healthcare, or there can actually be neighborhoods that are LEED certified. Most of the things you hear about are in the area of new construction, but what we're going to talk about is actually in the area of existing buildings, operation and maintenance of existing buildings. That's the way that as a facilities engineer, you can actually take advantage of LEED certification. So the way that LEED works is you gather these things that are points, and you get points for various activities or programs that you have in your facility. And if you gather enough points, you can become certified. So there's different levels of certification. There's certified, silver, gold, and platinum. And these are sort of the ranges. So if you get, say, a point system of 45, then you would end up being a silver certified LEED. So let's look a little bit more at the point system and how to go about getting points. So in the existing buildings, there's these 6 areas that you can gather points. So there's sustainable sites that you can get points for. You can get 12 points for that. Water efficiency, you can get 10, possibly 10 points. Energy and atmosphere, you can get 30 points. Materials and resources, 14. Indoor environment, 19. And innovation and design process, 7. So there's a total possible points of 92. And if you go back to here, you can see that would be everything, and you'd get platinum. But even if you get around 34 points, you can actually become certified. So we'll look at some of the ways in which you can get points. So this has to do with sustainable sites. And what I've done here is I've listed all the ways you can get points. And so you can see there's you can get 1 point for this. You can get 1 point for exterior and hardscape management. You can get 1 point for having alternative transportation available, 1 to 4 points. You can get points for all of these things. And actually in class, we're going to spend some time looking at what are some of these points. And so that I'm not going to go through each of these because it would be very dry to talk about each one of them, but you're going to look at this in class. Water efficiency, you can see there's these 5 different ways of getting points. From retrofitting fixtures to having efficient landscape. In an energy and atmosphere, you can get up to 30 points in this area. So even if you have something like, say, system level monitoring, if you monitor your atmosphere, you can get 1 to 2 points. If you have emission reduction reporting, if you just report about it, then you can get 1 point. So you can see that you just gather points along the way. You can get points in material and resources. So this is things like, just looking at your waste stream audit. If you just audit your waste stream, you can get a point. And if you look for ongoing sustainable purchasing in ongoing consumables, you can get 1 to 3 points. Even if food, so if you supply food on your site and you get food that's local or organic, you can get 1 point for that. Indoor environmental quality. This is things like tobacco smoke control. You actually have to do that. There's often some required things you have to do, but then beyond that, you can get points. So in the occupant comfort, if you just have occupational survey, you can actually get a point. You don't even really need to do anything about it. You just have to have points. Over here, you can actually get points for the kinds of ways that you clean your efficiency, like janitorial closet or cleaning policy or cleaning equipment. If they are LEED certified, you can get points for that. The last area is innovation and design process. And in this case, you can almost do anything. So even if you have a LEED certified professional, well, I can't remember what AP stands for, as a principal participant in your LEED program, you can get a point. Also, you can get things for educate innovation operations. So if you're doing something that's not listed as a point, you can actually even get points for it. So for example, if you have an educational outreach program, you can get points. You can actually gather a bunch of points. So what I really want you to see is that it's not super difficult to get LEED certified. You just need to go through the whole process of it. And the way it works is you actually apply online, and then the U.S. Green Building Council examines your evidence and sees whether you can be LEED certified, and then they just issue a certification to you. One of the ways you do that is to work in what's called an eco-charrette. You don't have to do it this way, but this is often how we do it, how it's done. A charrette is a word that is used in architecture when you get together with the client and all the interested parties to talk about, how to build the building. So this is taken from architecture, LEED certification, because it's the idea with the new building. So the eco-charrette is you do a charrette like in architecture, but you do it around ecological things, which is the LEED. So you have to have teamwork skills. Mostly you would want to have a really good knowledge of the LEED point system. And in class, we'll look at some of the difficulties in getting that knowledge. It's also best if it's led by a LEED professional, someone certified to lead it. You also need to work with the U.S. Green Building Council. You have to register the project, there's technical support, and then they come and audit to make sure that you actually are certified. There's advantages, lower operating costs and increased asset value. So sometimes people want to have buildings that are LEED certified. It's actually sort of a badge of honor to have a LEED certified building. That's why we do it at Cal Poly. And there will be lower operating costs. You can imagine lower energy costs and things like that. Reduce waste to the landfill. So if you are concerned about triple bottom line issues about waste, then you would want to be you would be concerned or appreciative of this part of it. Conserve energy and water, healthier and safer for occupants, so your employees would be happier. Reduced harmful greenhouse emissions, so if you're concerned about CO2 emissions. You might be able to qualify for tax rebates, zone allowances, and other initiatives in a lot of different cities, but these are specific to the cities. You also would just demonstrate your commitment to environmental stewardship and social responsibility. It's just like a good thing to do. What you often have to do is look at the cost benefits of it. So there's labor required to initiate the LEED certification. There's ongoing labor costs, like in monitoring. If you have a monitoring system, then you have to be concerned about that. There's also might be some initial equipment costs, like if you have to retrofit some of your fixtures. There's ongoing operating costs. But the benefits are you do get a certification, and you will have lower energy costs, most likely you will, and then you also have better employee morale. And you always have to look at this cost and benefit. What most companies do is they look for the lowest cost points. So they lay out all of the points and they sort of cost and benefit them, points versus the cost of that. And they try to go for that low-hanging fruit first. In April of 2009, so a couple years ago, there was a version 3, and it's very, very similar it is actually the same thing as I just showed you, but they're trying to get a little bit more carbon footprint oriented. I would say that they weren't super successful in doing that. They have small changes in some of the point values, and also it's online, so you can do most of this online. So that finishes up the LEED lecture. We're going to do an exercise about LEED in class.